to the frontier is going to be life-changing for all of us.
We want to go backward so that we can go forward in the right direction.
Makeup and jewelry removal there, please. Lip gloss at least, right? Everything must go.
No.
I want my kids to learn humility and hard work.
All of your tech in here, please.
Are you guys ready to get rid of these devices?
No.
No?
I'm at a loss for words that I have to give up all of this to go back to the frontier.
Welcome to your frontier.
Oh my God.
This is really it. This is all we have.
There's only 2 beds. I'm not sharing a bed.
Why are we complaining about this?
I didn't anticipate it would be this difficult just to find 3 vegetables for dinner tonight.
We sit on that?
It's the 1800s.
This house, the living situation, it's just hard.
This is what you have to do to survive.
Whatever it takes.
1 out of 3 families fail when they're on the homestead, so we need to work together.
I don't miss my phone at all.
This type of time out with my boys, invaluable.
There are forever lasting memories in my childhood, and I hope this is one of those memories for you.
This is what the frontier is all about.
Wait till we go home and tell Mom all about our day.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NRW where Nerds Rule the World. I am here with 2 lovely gentlemen right here, Jason Hanna and Joe Riggs, 2 of the stars of the upcoming series Back to the Frontier. How are you 2 today?
We're good. We're doing great. We're excited for the premiere.
Yeah. I want to say that y'all's story really hit me hard. I'm a Dallas girl, and I'm also queer. I also identify as queer, so I felt very connected to y'all's story. With that being said, what y'all get to talk about why y'all picked this story. Y'all are very tech forward. Y'all are very progressive in your lifestyles when it comes to your home living. Y'all talk very shortly about why you decided to do this, but what was the true reason that y'all took part in this project?
I'll jump into it because I kind of led the process of our family getting there.
Yeah.
I think one of the initial things that really caught my eye was the flyer. And the flyer that they put out had a gay couple on that flyer. And so when I saw that, there were a couple of things that were clicking. Because when our boys were born in 2014, we had some legal challenges going through our surrogacy process and the legal adoption of our boys. And so for us, like the representation as a same-sex family is something that we're always pushing forward and pushing forward acceptance and making sure that our boys are growing up in a society to where they're treated equally. And so when I saw this flyer, it really jumped out to me in terms of what production was putting out there. And so it was an opportunity for us and like forever grateful in terms of being able to represent same-sex families in this type of environment, as well as this recognition of as a same-sex family living in the 21st century, but same-sex couples also lived in the 1880s, that they used the homestead and the frontier as an escape from society. Because it was a way for them to live authentically back in the 1880s. So there were a couple different things in terms of like jumping out as like, can we further push not further push, but further educate same-sex couples are your neighbors, they are your coworkers. And so there was this great opportunity that I thought, in addition to give away devices and focusing on our family, that was important.
And I was very hesitant about this whole situation. I'm like, are we really going to do this? Or we're going to have no running water, no electricity for 8 weeks. But I think the broader opportunity for representation was really important to us. I think that's the primary driver. And also to give our boys a true experience without devices of just being fully present.
With that being said, one thing I want to talk about that same-sex element for a minute. Just from the jump, y'all had to figure out who was going to be the head of household. Y'all had to figure out who's going to do, and I hate putting a heteronormative statement on this, but I'm going to. You had to figure out who was going to do the woman's work, who was going to do the man's work on a day-to-day. How did that differ for y'all's experience, do y'all think, compared to the other 2 families?
Yeah, I feel like we, as a 2-dad family, I felt like we had a big advantage because we in our modern lives, we wear all hats. We have to, there's no specific
There's no gender
roles, there's no gender roles, there's no, if laundry needs to get done, one of us does laundry. It's not, we don't have specific set things that each of us does. I think so for choosing a head of household, then it became based on what topic was it. So for example, choosing land, and well, Jason, that's more his department. He's in property and like a property management sort of role in his modern life. So he jumped in and did that. I guess I do a lot of like fixing things around our house in the modern world. So I kind of jumped into that when those tasks came up upon us. So we kind of like shifted based on what needed to be done. But there was a point where we had to make a choice of who does the female gender role and stays home and who goes to the field, because going out to the field was a whole new learning curve of what we had to do. And so at that point, I ended up going to the field and being the male gender role, and Jason stayed at home and did the female role, which was eye-opening. Oh,
it was tough because, like, in our modern day lives, like, we do interchange responsibilities. But living on the frontier, like you can't really go into one project and tackle it together because there's so many responsibilities that you have to do to keep the frontier wheels moving. And so while Joe was going to do the land and harvesting crops, like I was taking on the female responsibilities of being at home. But like I learned a whole new level of appreciation for women living in the 1880s. Because without women, like the homestead would not have survived. The women took on the vast majority, from my perspective, of the physical labor of managing kids and barnyard animals and watering the garden and laundry. And it's like, and we were expected as the women role to have dinner on the table when the man came home at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or sundown for dinner. So there was this whole new level of appreciation for women's responsibilities and their contribution to the frontier that I feel like is overlooked or forgotten. And so, but I think go back to your initial question. We initially kind of divided based upon what our strengths were. And I think at some point we lost what we thought was the advantage because we could no longer power up together. We had to divide and conquer to be successful.
I do want to talk about what you just brought up about, the child rearing, and especially you're too young, y'all had the youngest in the group. But I do want to pinpoint on something that Joe just said. Y'all brought in your modern day set of thinking, investments, land ownership. Y'all brought that in. Do you think that took away at all from the process the fact that y'all are in the system, y'all do the stocks, y'all do the property management? Do you think that might have taken away from the authenticity for a minute?
It's interesting because I think what they were going for, the concept of going back to the frontier, is taking 21st century mentalities and mindsets and throwing us back into this immersive experience of living in the 1880s. And how do we adapt? So it is one of those, like, we probably had, I feel like it probably worked to our advantage because there's certain experiences as we were living on the frontier that we had to go and evaluate how are we going to take on this situation and how do we come out the most ahead. And so there are a lot of like calculations and analysis of like, all right, our education and our background in our modern day world, I felt like was beneficial. Yeah, I felt like it was beneficial. I don't know. What do you think? Good.
Yeah. So going back to Jason, what you were bringing up about being the mom in this situation, what experiences did you think your boys had, especially as the youngest in the group? They had so much energy just from just at the very beginning. It was kind of hard to see them moving towards a full work style. What was the hardest element for them, and the hardest element for y'all trying to kind of rein in that power that they had?
As modern day parents, we have certain luxuries of how do we incentivize our boys to get tasks done. And the main driver of that is devices. And so going back to the frontier and you take devices off the table, like how do you motivate a 10-year-old to go out and pull items from the garden so you can have dinner? How can you motivate a 10-year-old to get out there and help us manage the crops? And that took a whole new it took parenting to a whole new level, right? Because we had to figure out how do we incentivize the boys to do what we need them to do to step up to be a part of the working labor of the family.
And a lot of it came back to you can make the work fun at the same time. How do you make it fun? Like make a game out of pulling potatoes from the earth. Like that, we literally did a potato hunt at one point. And to make it a competition of how many potatoes can you pull from the garden. So trying to show them that there can be joy in work, and there's ways to have fun at the same time, whether it's having a great conversation while you're doing something together. Because we do need their hands in there to get dirty, and we needed their help the entire time.
It really pushed us to become creative as parents. Because if you're in a mental breakdown with 10-year-olds, like how do you get them rebalanced? And to Joe's point, like you have to make the best of what you have. And so there were many opportunities to where we were trying to grind and try to get dinner or whatever may be done. And it's like, all right, let's have a reset. Let's go do a relay race. Let's go have some fun. And then let's come back and jump back into it. So it really pushed and challenged us to come up with new parenting styles and techniques that worked well with the boys when we had no other incentives available to us.
When it comes to the interactions that they had, most of the kids, as mentioned, they were older, and some of them quite a bit. How did they react with the other kids? Did they feel comfortable? And did you work with any of the other parents to kind of, echo chamber how to treat your kids in this situation?
Yeah, the community aspect on the frontier was really important. It was just the three families that were out there. So we did play dates with them. And because otherwise it's a lonely experience if you're out there just on your land working on your property. So by having play dates with them, we had great conversations with the Lopers were immediately next door as well. The Halls were a little bit further away from us, but having those opportunities to show how they take care of their livestock and any kind of differences and I guess we had no clue like what was in our garden, for example. I'm not a garden person. And so like learning what a plant was, we had great conversations and our boys got to learn with us through the help of what some of the other kids as well as the adults.
I think when we were able to get together with the other families, it was this reset of this energy level to where like the kids were kids. They got to go play and run and with the other kids and the other families. And it gave us an opportunity to connect with the other parents as well in terms of what are their challenges and struggles and their victories. So the coming together of a community really helped us mentally kind of reset from the prior week and give us enough momentum going into the next week.
And that's awesome. It sounds like a great opportunity in general. And seeing that first potluck, we were only given the first 3 episodes, but seeing that first potluck, y'all really seemed to get some of that discomfort back, and that was beautiful. With that being said, the almanac, I have to bring it up because of that potluck. Were y'all given the same almanac, or were y'all given different ones, and so y'all could like share recipes as you went through?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think we
haven't seen all the episodes.
Yeah. I would say I would anticipate the majority of what each family received was probably consistent with every other. However, there were things that we probably received in ours that may have been different from others. For example, like the history of same-sex couples living on the frontier. That was something that we learned about living on the frontier. So I would anticipate the majority of the day-to-day stuff was given to all 3 of us, but there's probably some specific nuances that were given to each family individually.
Interesting. That's really cool. And looking forward to that episode, learning more about that. With that, what was, when you were going through the almanac, what was your favorite part? What was your favorite recipe? I feel like you've got a little bit of a bias there with some history, but what was the most intriguing part of having that book with you?
For me, the almanac was the guiding source of living on the frontier. Yeah. And so going to that almanac, almost every morning in terms of what do we need to do today to be successful in order to prove up our homestead for that entire experience. And so every day, like we'd go to it and there would be something new in there that we would discover, where there was, the livestock auction or the opening of the general store, or whatever came our way came to us via the almanac. So it was really kind of our lifeline throughout the entire homestead experience.
Yeah. Whether dessert, it gave us dessert recipes and
I don't know.
like when we should plant and when we should harvest. It was the what.
Okay, but for clarification purposes, the almanac was not always helpful, because like in order to determine when to harvest a crop, like it gave us the terms as if we were in the 1880s. And so harvesting a crop in the 1880s versus today, like the lingo is totally different. Even a recipe, like the recipes are not as the recipes are not helpful. And my cooking can prove that up on the show.
But that kind of extends to the modern day too. So it's to be fair. Jason, that's
All right, last really quick question. What was the very first gadget you grabbed the moment y'all got back home? What was the very first thing?
It was crazy to look after 8 weeks. It was crazy to look at a phone. And it was so big and colorful. Like
iPhone,
yeah.
Ethan Lucas, Nintendo.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Of course, got good taste, good taste. Back to the Frontier premieres on Max on July 10th and the same day on Magnolia Network. Thank you guys so much, and you'll have a beautiful day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes,
you know
sir.
I'm one
Thank
of
you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Nerds Rule.
Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes, nerds rule. Yes,
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Nerds so much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.